I remember the first night it happened. Not the abduction, but the dream. I was 12, sitting on my porch under a sky so still it felt painted. My parents were asleep. The air was thick with summer heat, and the crickets had gone silent, like the world was holding its breath. I used to whisper to the stars, pretending they were listening. But that night, I swear one of them moved. It slid across the sky, stopped above our house, and flickered 3 times. Slow, deliberate, like a signal. I didn't tell anyone, but from that moment, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had noticed me. The kind of feeling that burrows under your skin and waits. By the next morning, the dream had faded, but a humming sound lingered in my ears. It wasn't tinnitus. It pulsed, rhythmic, almost musical. I thought maybe it was coming from the old power lines behind the house, but when I walked closer, the sound stopped. When I stepped back, it returned. I remember standing there, frozen, testing the distance like some strange game of hide-and-seek. The air around me felt charged, like static before lightning. That night, I dreamed again. This time, I wasn't alone. Figures moved in the distance, backlit by a cold white glow. I woke up drenched in sweat, convinced that the hum had followed me into sleep. School was the only place that felt normal, though even there, the hum found me. I'd be sitting in class, pencil tapping on my desk, and suddenly the world would fade. No voices, no movement, just the low vibration pressing against my skull. I told my friend Alex about it. He laughed until he realized I wasn't joking. A few days later, I said something I didn't mean to say. They're coming for me again. I don't remember thinking those words. They just slipped out. The teacher froze. Everyone looked at me like I'd confessed to something awful. I tried to laugh it off, but my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Somewhere deep down, I knew it was true. At night, my dreams became clearer, more like memories than imagination. I'd wake up with the taste of metal in my mouth and the smell of ozone filling my room. Once I found small, circular marks on my wrist, perfectly symmetrical, as if pressed there by a machine. My mom said I probably leaned on something while sleeping, but I remembered lying on my back, arms by my side, too still for that. I started keeping a journal, writing every sound, every light, every strange shadow. The hum kept time with my heartbeat now. It felt less like sound and more like something alive inside me, waiting for a signal. A week later, I stopped sleeping entirely. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd feel the pull, a soft pressure behind my forehead, tugging upward. I started seeing lights through the ceiling, moving like liquid stars. My body would go numb, and my room would tilt as if gravity forgot its direction. I tried filming it once, but when I checked my phone, the video was static. Even my reflection seemed delayed, like it wasn't quite keeping up with me. The nights stretched endlessly, the hum merging with my pulse until I couldn't tell where one ended and the other began. I wasn't sure if I was awake anymore. Then came the night I disappeared. At least, that's what the police later called it. I remember lying in bed, body heavy but eyes wide open. The lights returned, so bright they erased the room. My skin tingled, weightless, every atom aware of its shape. I wasn't afraid. I just felt detached, like I was remembering something I'd already done 1,000 times. My walls dissolved into fog, and I rose, silent, through the ceiling. No sound, no pain, only the hum, now soft, almost tender. My last thought before the world vanished was that the stars above me were arranged like eyes, watching with impossible patience. I woke in a place that wasn't a place. No ground, no sky, only a horizon of shimmering gray light. Shapes moved within it, graceful, fluid, like shadows learning to breathe. I couldn't see faces, only silhouettes outlined in silver. They didn't speak, but their thoughts brushed against mine, curious, almost gentle. I wasn't on a table, wasn't restrained. I floated in the same rhythm as their light. They showed me something vast, a planet made of glass, a sun that pulsed like a heartbeat, cities drifting in silence. I didn't understand, but somehow it all felt familiar, like coming home to a memory I'd forgotten. Time didn't exist there. Moments bled into each other, and yet I knew exactly when they looked at me, truly looked. They showed me my own house from above, my empty bed, my mother calling my name. I tried to reach out, but my arm dissolved into light. One of them touched my mind, not with words, but with feeling, understanding, sorrow, and something like promise. I asked, silently, if they would take me back. The answer came not as sound, but as warmth spreading through my chest. I wasn't sure whether it meant yes or no, only that it was final. When I opened my eyes again, I was standing in a field, miles from home. Dawn was breaking, painting the sky in pink and silver. The hum was gone, replaced by birdsong so sharp it made me dizzy. My clothes were dry, untouched. My watch read 3:17 a.m., but the date had jumped forward by 2 days. I tried to walk, but the world felt tilted, unreal, like a dream pretending to be real. At school, they said I must have run away. I didn't correct them. How could I explain a sky that speaks without sound? Now, years later, I still hear it sometimes. The hum, faint but familiar. It comes when I stare too long at the stars, or when the world falls perfectly silent. Sometimes I dream of that place again, of light that knows my name. People say what happened to me was trauma, a story I invented to cope. Maybe they're right, but every night before I sleep, I whisper to the sky just to see if it answers. And sometimes, when the wind is still, it flickers 3 times, slow and deliberate, just like before.